on the job at the painter meeting, number one would be an easel. Something that you can put panels and displays and so forth on. You need panels. You need some brush outs of the things that you're going to discuss. We have those things for you. We have two cases which are easily transportable, full of panels on various products which have been made up by the lab. In addition, you can have other panels, but basically we have two boxes full for you to utilize in conjunction with painter meetings. Some of the material that Fred has here, I believe, will be available later. Am I correct, Fred? Another thing that we use and that you need to have, I think it's good to show at painter meetings, is our film quality through research. It seems to register well with the painter. So you need your projector, you need your film, you need your record, and you need your screen. Then you need material to actually brush out and cans of actual material to show people. And these should be a fair range of products, so it gives an idea to the painter of how long your line is, various products in your line. It is a case where you don't necessarily, in fact you definitely don't, brush out or open up all the materials because time precludes that. But you have a wide range of products on hand to talk about and to show what you're talking about. And in conjunction with this brushing out, you also need some drop cloths, can openers, paddles, thinners, and rails. If you don't have these things, you're running around looking for them, and you don't get yourself off properly in conjunction with your meeting. So have everything there organized. In addition to that, you're going to talk to them probably about color. Have color decks there to show what we have in the way of color, what types of helps we have for them to sell color. Color guides, Regal Wall Satin album, Maltic Tenafly album, and so forth, things of that nature. So what I mean to bring out is have yourself organized properly before you start. Now, this all leads up to the fact that from 8 o'clock this morning on, I've been trying to get a few minutes to get organized, and I'm sorry to tell you that I'm not completely organized because I haven't got my panels here in any kind of order, and I don't have paint cans in any particular kind of order, and therefore I'm going to be making believe a little bit at a time, but bear with me. To start, I'm very glad to be here in Los Angeles. I'm very glad to welcome all you good painters and contractors to this meeting. In introduction here, we have a couple of our good people from the Benjamin Moore organization that I'd like to introduce to you. There's Ned Houston, branch sales manager in Los Angeles, and Fred Hecker from our Denver factory. I'd like you to meet them, and later on, you'll have an opportunity to chat with them. It's certainly a pleasure to be here in Los Angeles, though, and greet you. Probably some of you don't know too much about Benjamin Moore, but that's why we're here. We want you to know more about Benjamin Moore. To begin with, Benjamin Moore was founded in 1883. Started in a small way in Brooklyn, New York. It has grown over the years to one of the largest paint companies in the United States. It now has 14 plants scattered from coast to coast and in Canada, serving every area of the United States. Many of you know us from years back. You're familiar with certain trade names that we used in years gone by, some of which we're still using today. Moresco, that probably rings a bell with a lot of you. Moresco was in Webster's dictionary. This became such a popular and well-used term. Others of you have used our pure oil colors for years and years, I'm sure. These have been a standard of the industry. premier outfit flattening industry. So through the years, various names, such as Satin and Furlough, Regal Wall Satin, Duhamel, have become well-known names in the industry. Some of them are well-known to you. We want you to become more familiar with them. One thing that sets Benjamin Moore apart from many other organizations and paint manufacturers is our policy. Benjamin Moore has a policy of selling only to independent paint dealers. What does this mean to you? It means to you that we have a dealer who is a member of your community, who is a person in your community for you to trade with. And this means that this is a man who's anxious to give you service, willing to give you service, and able to give you service. We're very proud of our representative in this area, Bill Carlson here, House of Color. He's a real representative for us in the paint industry in this community. This is his own business. He has to make his living at it, and to do that, he has to treat you right. But you say, well, his business is varied, so is yours. Painters are a primary interest in our business. They have been in the past, they are today, and they always will be a primary interest to us. Let me point out to you an issue of your Painting and Decorating magazine, the California Painting and Decorating Contractor. On the back of this, you'll find that there is an ad of the Benjamin Moore Company Paint Manufacturers Award. And I'll just, if you'll bear with me, read a bit of it to you. In recognition of outstanding service to the painting and decorating industry through advertisements exemplifying and promoting the services of painting and decorating contractors, thus proclaiming the truth that professional painting pays. This award is presented to Benjamin Moore and Company. We are interested in you, the professional painter, and we advertise for you, the professional painter. Going a little further back in our history, one of the most important things that Benjamin Moore and Company did, and it was one of the first in the industry to do so, is we hired a chemist in 1904. Since then, the laboratory end of our business has been a most important part. It is today. Our laboratory is divided into three different phases, basically. The research lab, the development lab, and the control lab. Now, the research lab, of course, delves into pure research. They deal with the molecules and the neutrons and the protons as they relate to the paint industry. And they are the people who are responsible for breakthroughs in new products, new paints, new ideas in paints. The development lab has to do with the development of a product that can be saleable to you, that you can apply once they have a new idea or a new product on their boards. Development lab takes that product and develops it into a usable product. In the control section of this laboratory, their responsibility is to make sure that the gallon of paint that you use today, Benjamin Moore paint, is the same gallon of paint made in the same way, to the same standard as the gallon of paint you bought yesterday, last week, last year, or that you will buy tomorrow or next year. Also, that the gallon of paint you buy here in Los Angeles today has the same characteristics, is up to the same high standard of quality as the gallon of paint that is sold in our factories in Santa Clara, Vancouver, or Denver, or wherever it may be sold. All these three combine time to produce that gallon of paint that you work with. We have one man in the lab for every 2 men that we have selling in the field. And they are working to produce better paint for you all the time. But laboratory work alone won't give you the whole answer, because you know you use the paint in the field. So we go a little further than developing things in the lab. After a product is developed in the lab, we have test fences, and we have these test fences in Arizona, in Florida, New Jersey. We even have them in Los Angeles, right here. And products are put on these test fences and observed over an extensive periods of time. And from these test fences and from the testing that goes on these fences, we begin to know what a product will do, how it will perform out on the job, and how it will look after it has been on the job. In addition to that, we go one step further. When we develop a new product, we give it to people like yourself to go out on the job and use that product on an actual job. And we come in and we ask you, how did this material work? We look afterwards to see how that material stands up, so that you can be assured when the product is ultimately put on the market and sold to you, that it is a product that has had thorough testing, not only in the laboratory, but on the actual job. In connection with this laboratory work and the development of new products, we want to show you a short film this time that I think will be of interest to you. It shows some of the work of our laboratories, both as far as research is concerned, as far as development, and as far as control. And we think it'll be an interesting film for you. At this point, we show our quality through research film. We use this, and in spite of the fact that I have covered a lot of ground that actually appears in the film, I don't think this detracts at all from the presentation or from the film, because the fact that you explain what your film is going to show actually adds to the film itself. After the showing of the film, we take off from that point with tying it into the film by stating, in this film, you have seen a phrase used that we believe very firmly in and that we hold to very closely. That phrase is, only products of the highest quality shall bear the name of Benjamin Moore and Company, and these products shall be brought to the consumer at the lowest price consistent with quality. It's essential that we make the best product we know how. And we do make the best product we know how. And we try to bring it to you, the painter, at the lowest possible price we can, consistent with that quality of paint. Now, you as a painter are in a highly competitive market. You're in business to make a profit. The only way you can make a profit is if the product you buy, that product off the shelf, does the job that you want it to do, and does the job that it's intended to do. And we build products that do just that. The worst thing that you can get into on a job is extra labor costs, going over a job again. We build products that are designed to do a job for you, products that will do the job that you intend for them to do. Furthermore, what way can you build your business? The building of your business is through satisfied customers. That is the primary way you build business. Advertising, sure, but through satisfied customers, this is a primary way of building your business and making money. With the Benjamin Moore line, with using the Benjamin Moore line, you can make satisfied customers and build your reputation. When you Quality products. Well, you know, there's some jobs that we can't use the top quality products on. Some jobs are price jobs. Benjamin Moore is well aware of this. Therefore, we make a wide range of products. The range of our products is extensive from the very top quality, from the product that is as fine as we know how to make it in its particular category, right down to the product that has to be used on the track job, down to the product that has to meet the most competitive bidding. A product to meet every job requirement. Sure, some jobs and some of you do only quality work, and we have quality products that will do and perform in the ultimate way to provide you and your customer with satisfaction. But then, some of you have jobs that have to meet a price, and we have priced products, products that are made to meet a price that will perform and do the job that is necessary in order for you to be able to meet price competition and get a good job with the material. Let's take some of these products and just briefly discuss them. To begin with, in exterior primers, and here, this is Benjamin Moore's Moore White Primer. This is the finest primer we know how to make. And what goes into a fine primer? What makes a fine primer? The ability to seal a surface, the ability to prime a surface. Most important, the ability to go over a surface and present a uniform surface to accept a finished coat. Moore White Primer does exactly that. Moore White Primer has been changed in recent years. Why? To meet the current market. One of the things about Moore White Primer today is that it is a flat finish. This has been designed so that you can go over it with water-thin type materials, your vinyl, products like latex house paints and so forth, without problems. Moore White Primer is a high-hiding primer. It dries quickly, provides a surface that, when you go over it with a first-line house paint, gives you a top-quality job. Now you say, well, in exterior primer, I use always price material. Well, of course, we can say to you, well, price material, yes, but if you want the best job, you know that the prime coat is the basis of the job, and it should be the best material. But you need to go with price material. We have price material. We have our Moorcraft line. In the Moorcraft line, we have our Moorcraft exterior primer. And here's the Moorcraft exterior primer. This product is designed to do the same type of job as our Moore White Primer. The same, but this is priced at a competitive price and is a product that you will like to work with. Let me show you. And here we have to use a little imagination, gentlemen. Here's Moore White Primer, and here's Moorcraft exterior primer. I'll just take this down and pass it around among you. Take a look at the hide on this product. Take a look at the finish on it. You'll note that the Moore White Primer is a flat finish. To continue along in our line, our first line house paint material, our top quality, is Moore's outside house paint. It says right on here, for 1 or 2 coat work, and it means it. It can be used for 1 or 2 coat work. Why? Because it's got the hide. It's got hide for 1 coat work. All of you, some of you, are familiar with the fact that Benjamin Moore & Company has made a 1-coat house paint. There's 1-coat house paint. We've made this in white and a line of colors. However, over a period of time here now, Our Moore's house paint has been so improved that today we can recommend this for one-coat work. Sure, Moore's one-coat house paint is still a fine product and can do a good one-coat job. But Moore's one or two-coat here can do the one-coat or the two-coat job. Let me show you an example of Moore's house paint here. Before I go too far afield, let me get into another phase in the house paint field that Benjamin Moore made. And again, to give you a little bit of an idea of the range of our line. There is Moore's Western Finish enamelized house paint. Enamelized house paint is a high gloss enamelized type of finish. It is matched to our vinyl coating. Moore's enamelized house paint is a beautiful working product today with a type of gloss of a trim color. Let me show you an example of it. And here we'll have brush out of enamelized house paint and our Moore's one or two coat house paint. As far as you gentlemen are concerned, I won't go through the entire line with you. You're familiar with most aspects of the line. But we just offer that as a start on the thing. In the discussion of product, I think it can be advisable to go through most of your major products. And by that I mean Moore's house paint, Moore wax primer, Moore guard, Western Finishes vinyl coating, Western Finishes enamelized house paint, your Moore Craft house paint and exterior primer, particularly Sunbar varnish, and incidentally you can give a beautiful demonstration on Sunbar varnish under the ultraviolet light, which is very impressive to your painting contractors there. Mobar varnish, and dependent on the particular dealer who is involved and the area that you're giving it in will depend to a great extent on which products you wish to emphasize more, spend more time discussing. Then, from there, you go into a discussion of your interior products, again, taking the high points of the line, the major items, Alkyd Tenaflat, Regal Wall, Satin and Pervo, Alkyd Prime Seal, a quick dry Prime Seal, and incidentally, on all of these, and I say all of them, we have panels for you to demonstrate. We were showing, I think came up with Fred the other day in class, the difference on wallboard between quick dry Prime Seal and Alkyd Prime Seal. We've got a panel that demonstrates to the painter conclusively just the performance on that particular type of material. In addition, then we go into a Pervo enamel, and of course, because it's a painter meeting, where appropriate, in fact, it's always appropriate, the Moorcraft products, and where appropriate, HVI products. And it most always will be appropriate to get into the HVI products with this painter group. So that through this section of your meeting, you are discussing products, and at the same time, and here's where your organization comes in, you have your panels set up on a step-by-step basis so that you help you sell color. At this point, we are showing you the Alcantara flat, Regal Wall Satin, Mooramatic, Telecolor, Guide, and actually Mooramatic system counter book is good to have there too. This helps you sell color. You are selling color